Welcome to Sweatpants and Stories, the podcast where we get comfy and talk about the books we love. And today we are talking about The Bombshell Effect by Karla Sorensen.
Love it. All right. Well, we are not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but as you know, we are going to do that anyway. We are very judgmental, apparently.
We are.
So I will start. Let's look at the back. We'll read the blurb. It says, a tall, brooding, tattooed jerk. I tried to be nice, bake some cupcakes for him and his adorable daughter, and the only reaction I could come up with to his ice-cold reception was to shove those pink cupcakes right into his muscular chest. It was a good scene. In my defense, it was a rough week. Being back in Seattle for the first time in years was hard enough. The fact that I was there for the dispersal of my father's will made it even harder. I had no intention of staying until I got a football stadium-sized surprise as my dad's final gift to me. No, really. He left me a football team. It's how I found myself in a conference room staring down the veteran quarterback who wants nothing to do with a new owner. And that quarterback, it's my tall, brooding, tattooed jerk of a neighbor. Now he's everywhere, next door with his daughter, in meetings. Don't even get me started on away games. What did you think?
I think that pretty much sums up the book. I mean, not, it doesn't give away the book, but it tells you what you're getting into.
That's very true.
It is a definite enemies to lovers trope, which I enjoy. Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, the cover of the book, I don't know. I'm going to judge. That's
I knew where you were going. Yeah.
It just bothered me a little bit. You have the football helmet and you have the high heels, and I think that's cool, but it doesn't draw me in, right? If I saw this on the bookshelf, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, those are really high heels. I would never wear those, but I don't know if it would be like, ooh, I need to have this book based off of the cover, which is what I've done a lot of times. I just see the book, I'm like, oh, that cover looks fantastic. I'll give the book a try, and there's no sprayed edges.
I know. I knew the second this came in and the edges were white, because it is an older book, right? We went all the way back to start at the beginning of the whole series. But as soon as it came in, that was the first thing that I thought of. And I was like, oh, there's no sprayed edges. She's going to be unhappy with this one.
I was a little tad bit disappointed.
I know.
It's okay.
I know.
But, go ahead. You were going to say
No, I was just going to say, I feel like the covers have become much bigger in the last couple of years, right? Like before, it used to be, I don't know, the same picture of a guy without a shirt on, you know what I mean? Like that same kind of cliche romance novel cover. I feel like the covers themselves have just gotten so much better over time. And I wonder if this is a symptom of that, right? Where this is an older book that's what, like
7 years old.
Oh, okay.
Well, I just saw it. It came out in 2018.
So even older than I thought it was. So I think back then this was probably
a good cover for romance.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm okay with that. The other thing I had a problem with, and I got used to it, but at first I was like, my eyes had to adjust, is when you're reading it, each chapter has a different colored page, right? So like, I read the paperback. I don't read the Kindle, whereas everything's the same. But the paperback, you have the dark page, which is the first one, which actually has their Washington Wolves logo. And then if you look really closely, you actually see a football stadium. It's on the 50-yard line. But sometimes that would mess with my reading, because I'm reading the words, which are now white with a picture behind it. And then I go to a white page with black writing. I struggled a bit, just kind of moving to it. Because if I'm reading on my Kindle, a lot of times it's the black background with the white words, but it's always the same.
Yes.
Right? When it's I struggled a bit, but I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that was, I don't know, maybe one time, maybe not every beginning of the chapter.
That's fair. That's fair. I read on the Kindle, and I will say that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I do think it's funny that mine is a white background, black words.
Do you do the white one?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm old and traditional.
No. That's not. I actually changed it. I started with black with the white words because I would always read at night
Mm.
in the dark, and it just kind of blended in with it. But then I found the light green background, which supposedly is supposed to help with headaches and migraines and stuff. So now that's what I read on my Kindle when I'm reading it.
I did not know that they had that as an option.
I will show you how to do that.
Okay, very good.
I highly recommend the light green.
I learn something new every time.
It's very nice. It's like minty. It's very pretty.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't, I don't get as many headaches if I'm reading on my phone. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, we've all learned something new today.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you
to our 11 subscribers.
For our close family and friends. You too can change the color on your Kindle.
You're welcome. All right. So that's it for our judging the book by its cover. And we're super judgmental. And now we come to our favorite part of the podcast, where we ask the burning questions and get our hottest takes. So let's dive into the chemistry check.
All right. Well, to start us off, let's talk about the concept of enemies to lovers. Okay. So the first meeting between Allie and Luke is not good. Understatement. What were your favorite enemies moments? Did the level of animosity feel believable given their eventual boss-employee dynamic?
Yeah. It was believable for me. The whole enemy, every scene just made me kind of laugh, like, because it was just that intense. Mm-hmm. They did not like each other at all, which started off with basically him calling her not nice words, assuming she was there for not nice reasons, instead of just a neighborly, hey, I tried to make cupcakes and I'm sharing them. So he, very deservingly got a plate of cupcakes shoved into his shirt. I don't blame her. It is an appropriate reaction for how he was treating her. I think
that's fine.
Which was very poorly. Then they have the team meeting, and he realizes that she is now his boss, and he does not have good feelings about that. And I don't know. It's tough. They did not do well until they did well.
Yes.
It's like they didn't get along until they did. They made a truce. And they were like, we're going to give this a shot. We're going to try to play nice. I think it helped with her, being neighbors with him, and his daughter really wanted to get to know her because it was another female, and she got really excited about that. Yeah. And so I think him kind of being in forced close proximity to her kind of helped. I think it also helped that she wasn't trying to take over. She's the owner of this football team who has no idea about football. Like, she's not a football person. But she didn't try to take over and be like, I'm running the show. She let everybody who was running it run it. And she just kind of stayed in the background and tried to do what her dad did. And I think in a way he respected that.
Yes.
Right. And so then their chemistry was undeniable. And so I feel like at some point they went from enemies to, this is where we're at. Let's give it a shot, but keep it secret.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would agree with you for sure. I mean, their initial animosity you felt, I felt uncomfortable in the team meeting. I felt like she portrayed that well because you were sort of a fly on the wall at that moment. You're like, oh my, right? So I thought that was really well. And again, I think it did progress over time. So I think she, did a good job with the trope of enemies to lovers.
Yep. It wasn't rushed. It was timed well. Cool.
All right. What you got?
All right. So Luke initially judges Allie harshly.
Yes.
Understatement. When was the moment, in your opinion, that his judgment started to shift? And what scene truly solidified his respect for her?
Yeah, that's a tough one because I think it built over time. I think you covered it a little bit in your last comment too, around the fact that he started to see her in a different light, right? He started to respect her as she was taking her time to learn about the team, to understand everyone that worked there, all the players, right? Go out on the field and greet everybody before the game. So she, I think, approached her role as owner, right, with a different level of commitment that, like you said, he respected, right? And then his daughter took to her because, female influence right next door, right? And I think that also caused him to see her in a different light. And that also caused that to soften. So I don't know that there was, I guess for me, I'm not sure I can pinpoint like one exact moment where I would say, aha, that really solidified it. It felt more to me like it was gradual. And you felt it building, and you saw him softening, and you saw their relationship dynamic changing. And then to me, it was just a gradual progression then for them to build into something more. So my 2 cents.
And I can't remember exact details, but there was one scene where he said something to her that was not nice, and he walked over and apologized. And I feel like that apology kind of started the path into them.
I would agree.
You know, it was like he kind of realized, hey, I actually am being a jerk. And that's not who I want to be. So,
which is impressive. I appreciate it.
Yes, it is very hard to do that sometimes.
Agreed. Agreed. So well done. All right. Next question. Okay. So the grand gesture, which I always love. So this book is known for a great grand gesture moment. What did you think of the climax, the third act conflict that was happening? And was his final gesture enough to earn back your forgiveness, if he even needed it?
Right. Right. I mean, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I read it. So basically, right, like they're kind of on the outs because people found out and they were trying to stay away from each other at that point. And so her friend helps out. It's just the two of them in the owner's box, and she puts the TV on, and there's an interview. And Luke does not do interviews. He's not that kind of opening up. I'm just here to do my job. I'm here to be a quarterback. I'm here to lead the team. I'm not here to anybody really. Nobody should know about my private life.
Right.
Which I respect.
It's fair.
But here he is opening up about Allie, and basically says that he loves her. And she finds out, she looks over, it's playing on the Jumbotron. The entire stadium, whoever is in there, because it's before the game, is watching this live. And he's standing in the middle of the field with flowers. And to me, that is like the grandest of grand gestures ever. I was smiling ear to ear reading it. It was very well written in a way where you could just, I pictured it.
Yes.
It was a movie in my head. I was watching
exactly
her.
what I was going to say.
I'm like watching her walk down the stands and going on the field and running and hugging. And I was like, this is happening. And so it was just a very well written scene. And I don't think he needed forgiveness, but if he did, that would have done it.
Yes.
Like that, it was just a perfect moment.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. No, I think you said it beautifully. For me, it was like a movie. I could see it happening. I felt it. Very well written. I totally agree with you. And it was lovely. It was a lovely read.
Yes. So. It was magical.
It was, indeed.
All right. So one last question.
Yes.
All right. So the major hurdle is that Allie is Luke's new boss. All right. So now we're backtracking a little bit. Which couple's priority, so is it the team success or their personal relationship, did you feel was more at risk because of their secret relationship?
Yeah. So it was an interesting dynamic, I think, because it wasn't usually in those types of scenarios, right, where I've read them before, there's the possibility that someone is going to lose something, right? Yeah. In this instance, I didn't feel like anyone was going to lose their job, right? Because she owns the team, right? He's got a contract. He's the star quarterback. You're not going to just go ahead and trade him, right? That would just be silly. So it more so felt to me like they just couldn't be together. Yeah. Like that was the conflict, right? Yeah. It was less about the team. It felt to me like the team dynamic was going to continue because she would still own and he would still be a quarterback, but they wouldn't be together. That circumstance wouldn't allow them to be together. So I think that was the big conflict in there.
Yeah, I agree. The team success really had nothing to do with it, right? The only thing I would say that would be the issue is like a respect level. Yes. Right. And I know that was the huge thing was everybody you always pat the guy on the back when he
Mhm.
does that, but the girl is always, chastised
Yeah.
and judged and put down. And I feel like that was the main conflict, right?
Yes.
It was, we need to keep it secret because even though we knew each other before we knew we were doing this, like, people talk
Yes.
and people judge.
Yes.
And they always, judge one side over the other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I really appreciated her as a character too, because I felt like she wrote her in such a way that she was very strong.
Mm-hmm.
She had confidence. She was driven and determined. She was just a great female character.
Yes.
And you felt for her because it very much sometimes, right, is that type of an environment
Mm-hmm.
where he would absolutely, it would blow over for him. And for her, it would be, talked about forever. They would lose, ad revenue, right? All the things that would happen, right?
Yes.
That would impact her and the ownership of the team and the profitability of the team.
Yes.
It is a much harder road for her.
Yes.
And I felt that in here, but I was also I was happy with the way that she portrayed her too,
Mm-hmm.
because even through all of that, right? She kept her head held high. She was more driven and she was moving past it. Like it was a good read from that sort of like female empowerment perspective as well.
Yeah. And that kind of goes with when they were doing the magazine photo shoot.
Yes.
Right? Like Luke walks in with, was it Jack? Is Jack the one that came with him? I don't know.
Maybe.
I think so.
I think so.
It was the wide receiver, cornerback, something like that. Somebody that he throws to. I know football, guys. It sounds like I don't, but I swear I know football.
Swear.
Anyway, they both walk in and they see her and she's, dressed to the nine, and it's very, the wind's blowing, her hair's blown out. Like it's a very, I'm not going to just picture it, guys. All right. Picture it. But that's what you're almost worried about, right? Yeah. It's like you have this beautiful woman as an owner. So you're almost using her as selling magazines, right? Because she's beautiful,
objectified,
right? That's the word. I was trying not to use different words, but that's the word.
I'm coming with my SAT words.
Yes, well done.
Thank
you.
Done.
I did not do well on the SATs, clearly. But that's the thing, right? And then when she was taking the pictures when the boys decided they were going to take the pictures with her, they put her in a jersey, but they like cropped the jersey, right? If it was a guy owner, he'd be in like a business suit, right?
True.
Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's a whole different thing, but the way that it was portrayed in the book was well done.
Yes.
And it's so hard to write a strong female character.
It is. It is. And without them being difficult or, the other word, right?
Right.
Like, I do think that is a hard one. And I think she did a really nice job of doing that. And I liked you in the photo shoot. You reminded me of something where he was asking, or he was initially concerned about her choice or her look, right? And what she was wearing. And their marketing person was like, well, she wouldn't do anything she wasn't comfortable in, right? And she was fine with this and she was comfortable with it. And I was like, you go, girl.
Right.
Like, it was a good,
she was very comfortable in her skin, right? And she was okay with doing that.
Yeah.
She was that strong of a female where she was like, yeah, this is me, accept it. Right. And I'm going to own how I look. I know I'm beautiful and there you go. I'm not going to wear a potato sack, like, which is good.
No one should wear that, but
no, but
you never know. Sometimes some of those styles. All right. On that note,
potato sack. Now it's time for the sweatpants scale, where we get to see where it falls. All right. So just a quick reminder, it could be 1, stiff jean, 2, unzipped fly, 3, loose fitting jean.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I bought some of those the other day.
Did you? Nice. Nice. I tried to buy loose fitting jeans and then I bought them too big.
Oh.
There's a in between. I don't know.
I didn't have that problem.
Yeah. Okay. All right, fine, whatever. All right, for the elastic waist sweatpants.
Always a good option.
Yes, always fun. And then 5, the cozy fleece lined sweatpants, which are just perfect. All right.
Am I up first?
Yeah, I might as well.
Okay. I am going to go with a 5 this time.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I know, right?
Huh.
And I'm a tough grader.
You are.
So, yes.
All
I think
right.
what drove it for me, though, was would I read it again?
Yeah.
And I would.
Yeah.
I would absolutely read it again. I'll tell you, I read this and then I went down the rabbit hole of the rest of the books in this immediate series. Then the next series, which follows that other group a little bit more.
Okay.
And then literally the next one after that. And they're all very good and they're all quick reads. And so I think for me, again, of all the ones I feel like I've read now at this point, I don't know that this would have been my most favorite.
Yeah.
But I like that it started it off. And
Yeah.
I was invested enough in these characters that it made me want to read the other ones.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's a 5. So there we go.
Wow, look at that.
I know, my first 5.
I know. I wasn't sure we were ever going to get that.
I wasn't either. I was very worried they were all going to be 3s. And we would just drown in a well of negativity.
Sometimes that's okay.
And yeah, sometimes you need that. You need to sit in the fields.
All right. Well,
Yes.
I am disagreeing slightly.
That's okay.
I know.
You are entitled to your own opinion.
Thank you so
As
much.
a strong female lead.
I am a strong
Yes.
female, and I will judge how I want.
Absolutely.
All right. I am giving this one a 4.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. If you gave it a 2, I would have been sad.
I wasn't, no.
Okay.
Honestly,
I
if
would've
it
been sad.
has sports in it, it already is like up there. It's past 3 already. I mean, I love sports. It didn't sound like it when I was trying to explain what position he was in football. You know.
He catches in the field.
Yeah, I think he's in the offense. No, but I gave it a 4.
Solid score.
Yeah, and you know, and I would reread it, but I don't know. I just, to me, it wasn't that perfect 5. And I think maybe it's because there are certain scenes that I just couldn't remember. It didn't stay with me as much as I would have wanted it to, right?
That's totally fair.
And I remember bits and pieces, but whereas other books I read where I'm just like, oh, I remember
everything.
every single detail. Yes.
Yeah.
And here it was almost like, what happened in there? And so that is the thing where it gave me a 4, because super well written. The characters were so likable.
Yes.
There's not one person I read, like even his good buddy, was it Davon? Davion? Something like that. So I don't do well with hard names. Let me just put that out there. But he was likable, and his wife, and really well written.
Yes,
and you know, she wrote a strong female character, which we said is hard to write, and so I really appreciated that. But I would say 4.
Yeah, I would say solid score.
Yep,
a solid score.
Right,
yes,
good.
Yes. I would challenge you if you need more in your to be read pile, which Lord knows we all don't. But if you do,
yes,
I would say go to the next one.
Yeah.
In this series, and then see if you reflect differently back on this one.
Yeah.
All
right.
I give you the challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Yes, there you go.
Yes, I will accept that challenge.
Very good.
All right, perfect.
Cool. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us on today's episode of Sweatpants and Stories. Please be sure to like and subscribe and follow us on social media. And join us next time when we are reviewing Tessa Bailey's book, Dream Girl Drama. We are switching sports to hockey for this one. And as someone loves, there are sprayed edges. So, all right, well, join us next time.
Thanks, guys.